Okay. Hey guys, we have decided that we're going to share our three favorite breathing exercises with you. So that is what today is all about.
All right. Oh, have you finished?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm starting with my little win for the day because I'm 59 years old. I've been a breath instructor now for almost 3 years, and I've just worked out how I can remember whether it's breathe or breath. So don't laugh, I get
Sorry, I
it
promised
mixed
I
up.
wouldn't laugh.
I get it mixed up. So breathe rhymes with E, and there's an E on the end of breathe. So that's how, from now on, Jackie, you're not going to have to correct my spelling. So now we're going to take a nice deep breath, relax, and tell you about our favorite breathing exercises. So my first one, the first one that I really is my go-to, it's that self-regulation emergency exercise, is the many small breath holds. And I know that I've shared with our clients that this is the one that my husband knows. I have been in some pretty dire situations, needing medical attention from long COVID. And my husband knows to tell me to do this breathing exercise. It calms my mind, it calms my body. And I know how to do it. I practice it a lot. And if I'm actually feeling well enough to go out for a walk, I like to use it when I go out for a walk. So many small breath holds for me is number one. And Jackie and I always say we always gravitate towards different exercises, but this has always been my number one favorite. Coming in at number two, so getting the silver medal for breathing exercises for Vikki, my cadence breathing. So I have an old-fashioned alarm clock right next to my bed, and it ticks in seconds. So right before I go to sleep, I listen to that lovely melodic tick, 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 and I'll get ready for sleep by doing 15 minutes of cadence breathing. So whatever your rhythm is, my rhythm is getting me into that lovely deep sleep state, and with the longer exhale. So that's so important when we are learning to breathe with our nose. And then my third one, oh, and with my cadence breathing, I also do it first thing in the morning. So when I'm lying in bed, getting ready for the day, that's how I actually start my day. I'll just, by that time, take my earplugs out, take my mouth tape off, and I will lie in bed and do that cadence breathing. So then I've got two 15-minute bits of breathing at the end of the day and at the beginning. So they're great bookends for my breathing. And then my third one is diaphragm breathing. So that is part of our day-to-day breathing. I'm always trying to think about using my diaphragm. But for us, I also like to think about strengthening my diaphragm because I know from 3 years of inactivity, it's a weak muscle now. And being someone who likes to exercise, I think, oh, I can do some diaphragm breathing, increase my muscle strength. I've got the belly breathing down. I can do that, but that lateral, that horizontal breath, I'm still working on. And I think sometimes we forget about that. But I'm going to show you the Butico belt. So this is like a corset for me, but it's a reminder that as we breathe, we can laterally expand. So we always teach having our hands here on those lower three ribs, but here you've got this elastic compression of your diaphragm or your rib cage, and you can use it to push against. So sometimes if I'm able to go out for a walk, or if I'm going to be sitting for a long time, I'll put this on and it reminds me to use that as my diaphragm breathing. So those are my three go-tos. And of course, everything nasal breathing. except when I'm talking or eating or I don't know what else.
Sneezing?
Sneezing, but everything else is through the nose. But those are my top three, and also top four: learning how to spell breathe.
Sorry, said I wouldn't laugh. Um, Yeah, and you know what? It's, we say this so often in classes and workshops, that, we teach all of these exercises and different people like different ones. Vicky and I don't necessarily gravitate to the same ones, in the moments that we need them, but we know which ones work and when. So I know that humming is not going to work for me in a certain situation, but it's going to be absolute gold dust in a certain one. I know if I'm in freeze state, then many small breath holds is not for me because it's too active. So it's learning the exercises and then working out when they work for you, which is kind of what we've done and why we wanted to share this a little bit. So my top three. So I'm going to start with bog standard diaphragm breathing because this is always my go-to. And I'm checking in with my breath all the time. Am I breathing through my diaphragm? Yes, I almost always am. But in those moments where I'm getting a little bit stressed, maybe I've been sitting at my computer too long, maybe someone sent me an email that stressed me out a little bit, or I'm getting a bit anxious about something. And because I'm checking in with my breath often, I can usually catch this before it turns to sort of full-blown fight flight. Because if it's got to that point, probably need to go straight for the emergency exercise. The diaphragm breathing is probably not going to cut it at that point. But if I have noticed, getting a little bit stressed, I'm getting a little bit tense, going up into my upper chest a little bit, at that point, I sit back. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to put one up here on my chest because, again, this is another comfort, safety signal to my body by putting that hand there, literally putting your hand on your heart can be a really effective strategy there. And it's also letting me know, am I breathing into my upper chest? And if I'm feeling that comfort and safety, then I've probably reverted to diaphragm breathing anyway. But I'm going to then put my other hand down on my belly like that. And then I get that muscle mind connection. I can feel the diaphragm moving. I can feel the belly coming out. I can feel the lower ribs expanding. And I know that I'm breathing into my diaphragm. So that's my number one, diaphragm breathing. And it works for me very slightly different for Vicky, which is the beauty of this. Um, my number two, I would say, is the left nostril breathing. So I've actually started doing this quite a lot recently, especially while I've been out walking, moving, and it's just something that, is gonna relax you, but also it makes me kind of conscious of my breath, of my movement. Am I doing my power walking thing because I'm in a rush and I'm always late for everywhere and I need to get there on time, even if there is no time? Um, or am I actually enjoying myself? Am I taking time to enjoy the blue sky, if there is some, the birds in the trees, all of these things that actually it's amazing that I'm out there and able to enjoy. And if I'm doing my left nostril, my body is more relaxed and I've probably slowed down a little, so I actually have the opportunity to enjoy these things. And the more you are in your rest and digest, again, the more access you have to things like gratitude. So again, that all plays in. So that one is my number two. And then my third one actually is quite interesting because I hated hands cupping when I started doing it. I found it suffocating, claustrophobic. I really, really didn't like it. And now we've been teaching it for the last couple of cohorts, and I now love it. Absolutely love it. I find it really relaxing. You can just kind of sit there, pop your hands on your knees or in your desk, and just relax into it. So I'm a real fan of that now, knowing that it's doing my body good, that it's going to calm me down if I'm feeling like I need calming down, or even if I don't. So yeah, slightly surprisingly to me, that is my third one. But if you ask me again next week, I'll probably give you another
Yeah,
different three.
yeah.
Like,
So the big thing is between Jackie and I, we teach the day-to-day, minute-to-minute breathing is through your nose, in through your nose, out through your nose, a nice slow breath, and a nice deep breath. So using your diaphragm. That's our day-to-day breathing during the day and at night. Now, the things that, like Jackie talked about, hands cupping and left nostril, for me, many small breath holds, are more emergency self-regulation. And those are the things that we really teach in the course. And I think the last time I taught a course, one of my clients said that I'd managed to teach them 17 different exercises. So I don't know how I managed to do that. I was probably making some up. But, you know, there's a great big toolbox out there. And Jackie and I have shared the ones that we enjoy, but we also teach so many more. And our hope is that our clients and even you, if you're listening to this, you find one that will help you in situations. And we, Jackie and I, have practiced these. And that's one of the things we tell our clients. Don't wait until you get to that emergency situation and think, oh, I think I heard Jackie talking about hands cupping. I think I'll give it a try now. These are things that we practice, we talk about, so that give our clients homework so that they are used to using these exercises. They know how they feel. They know what their body feels like when they do them. And that's why it's good to try different exercises to find the one that works for you.
yeah, because in that moment, we need to know what to do. What can we do? We probably know an awful lot about what we can't because, our body is telling us that quite strongly. But, what can we do? Ah, I've practiced this one. Let's give it a try. Or I know when I feel like this exercise works really well. So let's get on and do that. There's so much can't with long COVID. So let's work out what we can.
And we can breathe. If you're
Yeah,
watching this, you can breathe. So, hopefully you'll join us and we can teach you some more.
absolutely.